member of Congress is offering President Trump some new ways that would help drain the swamp. Congressman Blum from Iowa outlining 4 ideas: a ban on both first-class flights and luxury car leases for Congress that are paid for by taxpayers, a lifetime lobbying ban, and a pay cut for Congress if they don't balance the budget. Congressman Blum is with us now. Congressman, thanks for coming in. Have you heard from the president on any of these issues?
I haven't heard from the president on any of these issues, but shortly after he was elected, I was with the president-elect at the time, and I said, President-elect Trump, I was into draining the swamp before you were. And he had a good chuckle at that, and I said, I would love to work with you to get that done. When can we do it? Yeah. And he said, let's hold off for a while, but it's going to be on the agenda.
Well,
so that's why I'm hopeful.
If you get him actually coming out and announcing these things publicly and pushing for them at press conferences and the like, you're much more likely to get something done, right?
Exactly, and I'm asked all the time, how do we make this happen? Because you have to be honest here. This is kind of like asking turkeys to vote for Thanksgiving. The way we get this done is we need to mobilize the grassroots. We need to mobilize the army of citizens out there, because these are winning issues. Term limits, all these issues are winning issues. Probably 60 to 80% of voters nationwide would vote for them. Republican, Independents, or Democrats. Bipartisan support for these issues. So all we need to do is get a vote scheduled. I'm hopeful because of President Trump being in the White House. Well, he's an outsider. He's not an establishment guy. I know he is,
but Congressman, we've been there before. You mentioned term limits. I can't tell you how many congresspeople come into office saying they're going to term limit themselves, and then they get to like it, and they stay, and they claim to be in favor of term limits.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind. I think a lot of my colleagues say they're for term limits, they're for a balanced budget, but once their plane crosses the Potomac River, something switches in their head, and when they get here, their worst fear is to schedule a vote. They don't want to have to go on record. We need President Trump to get behind this.
Well, one of the problems that a lot of people saw yesterday, is probably the only problem that people from the left and right agreed with, is when the president came out for something that seems to be more a part of the swamp than a solution to the swamp. Let's play the tape and get your reaction. Go ahead.
Maybe you should start bringing back a concept of earmarks. It's going to bring you together. You're going to do it honestly. You're going to get rid of the problems that the other system had, and it did have some problems. But one thing it did is it brought everyone together, and this country has to be brought together.
Now, earmarks for my lifetime have always been part of the swamp. That's what pork, that's kind of the definition of Beltway pork, right?
No doubt about it. And I was shocked when I heard that. But knowing President Trump, there's something behind that. Maybe he's tossing a softball to the establishment leadership in the House and Senate because he wants to get these next bills passed. I can't believe for a second that this president is supportive of earmarks. I can't believe it. And yes, they're part of the swamp. They're an indicator of the swamp that we have here in Washington, D.C. We all remember the bridge to nowhere.
That's right. Well, it's where you trade a political favor for something in your district. So it's like getting a campaign contribution from other members of Congress. But you don't think it's going to go out there. This was just something he threw out maybe to chide some people that thought they could read his mind.
It's going to be debated with our Rules Committee here in the House over the next few weeks, the idea of a limited amount of earmarks. I absolutely stand 1,000% against earmarks. And here's an interesting little statistic. Once someone becomes chairman of a powerful committee, the earmarks to their state over history have doubled the following year.
Yeah,
that says it all. That says it all.
It's pork. No other name for it. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you very much for being here.